Now for this last one, I actually want to leave it up to you. Now is that a cheap way to get out of playing 15 riffs? Yeah, probably. Now while I like to entertain on this channel, I'm also all about education, so I gotta sprinkle a little bit of knowledge in here on this. So let's talk real quick about how we can build our own open string riff. So obviously you can choose any string on the guitar, but let's make it pretty metal today. Let's go for the low E string here, closest to us. There's a couple common themes you see with all these riffs. The first being the use of palm muting all of the open notes, and then letting the other notes that are fretted be just normal notes. What I mean by this is something like this. Take a look. And you can also sprinkle in this idea of keeping all the notes open. So that's another option. Now another thing you could do is use power chords on the fretted notes, and that's really simple to do something like this. And I'm still incorporating palm muting. Without palm muting, get something like this. Now it's especially useful when you're in drop D, because it's a lot easier to play these sort of power chord shapes, but you can also do that in standard tuning as well. So one thing that's really going to help you build these riffs is actually just learning a couple scales on one string. So the first one I'm going to show you is natural minor on the low E string, which looks like this. And obviously you can continue to go up on that string. So let's put a couple more notes on there, starting from the E note. Why don't we have those two notes on top as well? So far we have this. And then you can sit down and sprinkle in a bunch of different open notes and see what you get. For example, maybe if we just do an exercise, we could do this. I encourage you guys to sit down and try to create your own riff based on an open string like that. Let's talk about one more scale and make it even more metal than that. Here it is. The notes above the octave. So, now I encourage you to try a riff with those notes in mind. I'll just create something on the fly here right now. Ready? There's an idea. Now another thing you can think about is hammer-ons and pull-offs on the open string, right? A couple of the riffs we did, such as Thunderstruck, the way I played it at least, and the Satriani song, Satch Boogie, we're using a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs on that. So you could even do something like that. You definitely get a lot of options when you're trying to write an open string riff like that. Right, so in conclusion, figure out a scale on your one open string here, and then experiment with different palm muting techniques. You know, try to figure out whether you want the sound to be more open or more closed off. In fact, you can switch between the two within the same song to have a really cool effect as well. And then the last thing I'll say is think about rhythmic variation as well. You might not necessarily want it to be the same rhythm the entire time, although that's very powerful, like Slither did that. It did... That's all the same rhythm, right? But maybe if you did some different rhythms, or maybe some more palm muted rhythms, something like that. Alright guys, that's been it. I've really enjoyed doing this. The guitar is such a unique instrument, and that these open string riffs are really fun to play, and it's kind of unique to stringed instruments like this, right? A lot easier to write some sort of riff like that on a guitar. So you guitarists out there, I encourage you to try this out and see what you can create at home. I'll post my social media down below along with my Instagram, so you can go ahead and follow me there to see some other concepts that I like to create just on that platform itself. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe if you haven't already for more content coming up in the future. And as always guys, I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you in the next video.